So first of all, I would like to inform you that the exercise 7.7, some questions, some portion from the 7.7 get, it is deleted for the year 2020, and exercise 7.8, which is based on first principle of integration, that is what we call ab initio method, or also what we called limit as sum. That exercise is also deleted. So we will do, today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is definite integral. So before starting this, let me differentiate between definite integral and the indefinite integral. This is a very important topic because several times the students get stuck. They do not know what exactly the definite integral and indefinite integral. So I took up this opportunity and try to and want to discuss this topic with you all. So let us begin. First of all, what is indefinite integral? Indefinite integral is a kind of, it's a portion of integration. So integration comes under calculus. So calculus has two parts. One is integration, another one is differentiation. And if we are talking about the definite integral, this integration is classified into two. One is definite and another one is indefinite. Now how these two are different from each other? So let us see quick recap what is indefinite integral first. Indefinite integral is basically an integration of the terms which have no limits, and it's let us suppose we took an example of x square. The integration of x square is x cube by 3 plus c, where we write it c and we write it here where c is integral constant. Now what is this integral constant and why it is called indefinite? See, the answer is not the complete. It is still in the terms of variables. It is not complete answer. And c is also we have taken here, that is an integral constant. So that is why it is called indefinite. As the name suggested itself, indefinite means the answer is not perfect. It is not complete. That is why it is that's why it is called indefinite integral. And on the other hand, if we are talking about the definite integral, in the definite integral there are two we will see the same example here. In definite integral there are two limits. One is what we call lower limit and another is what we call upper limit. So I am not writing here. I will there is a some limits is given to you, and the lower one is what we call lower limit, and this upper number is what we call upper limit. Now how to solve these kind of question? This is very easy. The same procedure that you adopt here in the indefinite integral, you have to do it like same. What is the integration of x squared? That is x cube by 3. And then what we are doing conventionally, we replace this sign, integration sign, with the straight line and write lower limit here and upper limit here, and then there is a formula that you have to use it like upper limit minus lower limit. So what you have to do, you have to replace this x with 3 like this, and minus, because upper limit, then minus lower limit, then you have to put in place of x 2. So wheresoever the x is, you have to put upper limit minus lower limit, and then you have to solve this is probably, if we cut it, so this is 9, and this is 2 raised to 3 is 8 by 3. So if we conclude it, 9 3 is 27 minus 8 is 19 by 3. So your answer is perfect. That is what we call definite. As the name suggested, definite means your perfect answer. So one thing more I would like to tell you, we have several gadgets which can do integration nowadays. We have some calculators also, but that calculator also, it works on the principle of definite integral. That will give you, short answer. When you put the limits in the integration, you will get a perfect answer. And perfect answer, I mean to say, it's a definite answer. But here the answer is not definite because we don't know the value of the x. This is the basic difference between definite integral and the indefinite integral. So I think everybody understand this. So let me quickly take one more example. So okay, so if I am taking an example of trigo function like sin x, so everybody knows what is the integration of sin x. If we are talking about indefinite integral, so sin x integration is cos x, not cos x, it is minus cos x plus c, and answer is, you can understand, it is an indefinite answer. That's why, and that's why it is called indefinite integral. If the same question we have, certain limits like 0 and pi by 2, so if we do it like minus cos x, now again as a convention I said you have to put a straight line, and then this limit, lower one is the lower limit, this one is upper limit. Formula you have to remember always, upper limit minus lower limit. So you should have to put cos pi by 2, because you have to replace x with pi by 2, and then cos, then minus and this minus also, so it would be plus cos 0. Cos pi by 2 is what? Cos pi by 2, if we see the table, then cos pi by 2 is 0 and cos 0 is 1, so its answer would be 1. So this how it is very simple to solve the definite integral. You just have to do it just like we do in the indefinite integral, and the convention you must have to remember, it is just like you have to replace this sign with a straight line, and then upper limit minus lower limit, this you have to remember. So this way you can solve any kind of definite integral, and this is just what I told you, it's a basic of the definite integral. And one more questions many students ask me, why we put this c. We put this c because this is called integral constant. Integral constant means, see, one very important point you have to remember, that in case of indefinite integral there is a c, it means it has many answers, and I hope if you already covered the indefinite integral, I told you always that in indefinite integral the answer may be vary. The way you are doing, the way your friends are doing, maybe you have different answers, but your procedure is same, your procedure is different, but your answer may be different, just because there is an integral constant. So but if you keep on solving it, maybe you will have same answers. So this is also one of the very important difference between these two, that in indefinite integral, maybe if you use the different procedure to solve solve a particular kind of question, you may have different answers. Different answers means you have to just modify it one to get the another one. But here in definite integral the answer is perfect always, and it is always definite. So there is no chance to have another answer. But here you have a chance, maybe your answer is different from your friend. So I hope you like this video. We will come back soon with some more innovative video. Till then, stay tuned.